So we are about to drop some huge bombs with this whole zinc thing. This is another video I should have made a really long time ago, but you know, thankfully we're finally getting there. If my skin looks a little weird today, I have on a chemical peel. It's like a mixture of like 6 different acids. So yeah, it's just what we're doing right now. This is day 2. So getting started, zinc, it's really funny. So it's an essential nutrient, but our body doesn't produce it and it can't store zinc. So with glutathione, we can produce glutathione and we can actually store it. And when we start supplementing glutathione, we can even add on to those stores, as well as like triggering our body to make even more. With zinc, we cannot do that, but it is also an essential nutrient, meaning that we have to get all of our zinc through stuff that we eat. And so that includes supplementation. And to make matters worse, you constantly need a supply. So it's not like you just take it once and then, oh, you're good. Like you need it all throughout the day, which I did not know that. Zinc is something that has been recommended to me by many of you for a very long time. And so I started taking it maybe in December. I was around the virus and I was worried about getting it. And so I started taking zinc and, you know, it helped me to stay from getting sick. So like it worked, but I did not understand that it's something that, my camera died, but I did not know that it's something you need all throughout the day. So if you do not have a balanced diet, if you're not eating the best foods, then obviously this, you know, puts you at a huge detriment. So zinc does more. It's not just like about our immune system. It also helps with growth and development, protein synthesis, wound healing, gene expression, and basically zinc is in every single cell in our body. Zinc also helps us to digest our food and even metabolize it. So if you're having issues with your metabolism, it could be as simple as starting to supplement more zinc, or actually eat foods that are high in zinc, but we'll get to that later. So the interesting things about zinc, and this is where it gets weird, guys, zinc deficiency can even reduce a person's sense of taste and smell. People who do have the virus, and I say this within the people that I've been with, who I've helped them to basically get better, you know, they lose their taste and they lose their smell. And so I know some people who never got it back, like they're not never, but they got it back like 5 weeks later, 5 to 6 weeks after they had already, you know, tested, you know, negative. So after they got over it and it's no longer present, but it messes with your body so bad that like they still couldn't taste, they still couldn't smell. Now I know that it was basically depleting all of their zinc, not allowing them to process it, and that's why a lot of these doctors are telling people, hey, start taking like 100 milligrams of zinc, which is funny because if you look at the zinc in some of, even if you go to get zinc gummies or some of these vitamins, like there's only like 4 to 8 milligrams of zinc. And so I remember when the doctor told us, oh, you need like 100 milligrams of zinc a day. For a family member of mine that had the virus, I was like, wait, is he correct? Like, did he get the number wrong? Because I know all of the vitamins, you know, that, you know, we routinely take, and they just have like trace amounts of zinc. And so yeah, this is very important for people who are around the virus or who have it. This can also help you during. And yeah, lo and behold, basically my family member lost their taste and smell, and then like it came back like the next week. So quickly. And so now that I know more about zinc, I know this is 100% because of the zinc, or they would still not be able to taste or smell. When you don't have enough zinc in your cells, basically our immune system is weakened, obviously, so people get sick way more often. And basically we undergo more oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is like one of those things where I hear it all the time, but I was not exactly sure what does that mean? And so I figured out today that basically it's when our bodies can't detox like free radicals. So if your body has like an increase in oxidative stress, some of the things that bring this on are obesity, high fat, high sugar, and high processed food diets, radiation exposure, smoking, drinking alcohol, pollution, pesticides, or industrial chemicals. So if you work around a lot of industrial strength chemicals, this is something that can actually make you really sick later on if you're exposed all the time. Obviously, some people who live in cities where you have like smog and stuff like that, you're just kind of screwed. But for other people, you know, this can be avoided. Also, there are certain medications that we can take. I don't know which ones, but certain medications can increase your oxidative stress. So all of these things that I just named, and some of them, which is funny, like when we talk about glutathione, drinking alcohol lowers your glutathione, high processed foods lower your glutathione, as well as smoking. So not only does it like oxidative stress sucks out all of those, you know, essential amino acids, should I say, but also it, you know, it kills your zinc. And zinc is something we can't store. So you could have just ate something with zinc, but if you're around those things, it's basically just like gonna zap it. Zinc also helps with collagen synthesis, which I did not know. So it can help your skin snap back quicker. So if you have acne marks or scars, it'll help your skin to heal. Also, it helps acne by stopping like bacteria growth, as well as suppressing oily glands, which I was so excited when I heard that. Also, it reduces inflammation. So this is where it gets very, very interesting. So I was trying to find like the recommended dose of zinc for people with acne, because if you look online, sometimes you'll see the recommended dose of zinc is just like, you know, 16 to 20 milligrams. Like, you know, it's always a very low dose, which is funny because like I said, I've taken zinc gummies or I've taken vitamins with zinc, and it's always like a tiny amount of zinc, like only 8 milligrams or something. And so it's like, why are these things that like we're paying like a lot of money, like have such a small amount of zinc, and we need so much zinc? I still haven't figured that out, but the recommended dose for people who have acne, like myself, is 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc taken 3 to 5 times a day. So they want you to space it out because your body constantly needs it because it can't store the zinc. So if you're eating an extremely healthy diet, you might get away with having gorgeous skin. Obviously, if you're human like I, you know, I do like chocolate chip cookies and things like that, and processed foods. And so when you're eating things like that, obviously you're not gonna be getting a whole lot of zinc. So everyone's been telling me, hey, take more zinc, take zinc. And it's like, I've been taking zinc, but I was not really taking it in the right way. And I was taking the lowest amount. I was taking like 22 to 44 milligrams of zinc. And I was taking a very good brand. Like, this is like one of the best brands because it's chelated, meaning that it gets into your bloodstream. Obviously, zinc in certain forms, the bioavailability will be worse than others. So chelated is kind of like if you were, I think there's even liposomal zinc, but it just helps it get into your bloodstream easier. And so basically, for people with acne, you need to be taking way more. So for acne, all in all, for like a day, you should be taking 30 milligrams to 150 milligrams. So in that bracket. If you look at other recommended dosages, usually like it'll say, oh, don't go over 50 milligrams. But for people who have acne, for some reason, they've given us a larger, I don't know, more space to work with. And we'll talk about what happens when you go over that, because there are, like, you can, it's not like a zinc overdose. Well, I guess it is. There's a lot of side effects if you take too much zinc, so we'll get into that later. But I just thought this was very, very interesting. So people who have seen dermatologists and things like that, I have, sometimes my dermatologist will put me on medicines that I have to take like twice a day, or a certain amount of hours. And so now I'm seeing why some of these medicines, they have them spaced out, because obviously your body is not going to store this medicine long term. So it's like you have to read up on it, and that's kind of like how zinc is. So some people might need to take zinc like 3 times a day, like 3 to 5 times. I thought that was insane. So now I will be taking 88 milligrams. And I know it's a weird number, but the zinc that I have, it's 22 milligrams per pill. So if I take 2, that would be 44. If I take 4 pills, that's 88. So I'm going to be taking 88 milligrams in the morning. So that's 4 pills, and then another 2 pills in the evening. So all in all, I'll be taking 132 milligrams. So that's close to the 150 mark, but I will tell you why I think you should not go quite that high. There are some foods that are very high in zinc. So foods that have like a large ratio of zinc are oysters, crabs, mussels, lobsters, clams, meat like beef or pork, lamb, bison, also poultry like turkey, chicken. Then we have fish like flounder, sardines, salmon, and sole. Legumes, which legumes are chickpeas, lentils, black beans, kidney beans, etc. For nuts and seeds, you have pumpkin seeds are high in zinc, cashews, hemp seeds, etc. Dairy products like milk, yogurt, cheese. Now for some people, the dairy, if you have, you know, acne, it can actually make it worse. So not everyone can get their zinc through dairy. Also, eggs have zinc, a lot of zinc. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and brown rice. And then there are certain vegetables that have zinc, like mushrooms, kale, peas, asparagus, and beets. The weird thing about the whole zinc in plant-based foods is that it's not absorbed as well as with other stuff, like if you were to eat meat or fish or even milk, and that has something to do with the different compounds that are in the plant. So if you're thinking that you're going to get all of your zinc from the plant, just know some of that you're not really going to get. So yeah, also there's been like a lot of studies on vegans and vegetarians. If you've ever watched like people like who will be like, oh, why I'm no longer vegan or why I'm no longer vegetarian, sometimes they get kind of sick. And now I'm wondering if them being a vegetarian or vegan long term, it was really they just got sick because they weren't supplementing the zinc. So like maybe they weren't taking a pill that had enough zinc. So it's not really the vegan diet or the vegetarian diet that was making them get sick. It was just they weren't constantly getting that zinc, and they probably didn't know even how much zinc they should have been taking. So let's talk about what happens when you get too much zinc. When you get too much zinc, and this has been recorded, they've done studies on it, over 225 milligrams, you get nauseous and you might start vomiting. You might start vomiting very quickly. Like we're talking like you're gonna feel like shit right away. There are also other people who are recorded as having intestinal bleeding. If that was after taking 220 milligrams of zinc twice a day. So yeah, they really got messed up. So now let's go to if you're not getting enough zinc, which I think there's a lot of people who probably aren't getting enough zinc. Zinc deficiencies are rare, but it can happen to people who have genetic mutations or people with alcohol addictions. So addicted to alcohol or something going on genetic, or if you're on like a long-term vegan and vegetarian diet and you're not also supplementing certain vitamins, obviously zinc is one of them. So symptoms, if you have a mild, so this is just a mild zinc deficiency, is diarrhea, very weak immune system, so getting sick all the time, thinning hair, a no appetite, mood swings, very dry skin, fertility issues, and like slow wound healing. I just think it's funny because like not getting enough zinc, you're screwed. If you get too much zinc, you're really screwed. So there really is like a little sweet spot, like a Goldilocks zone of just getting zinc. So remember, if you are supplementing zinc, play around with the dose. Obviously I'm going to play around with my dose, and just give yourself some room to also naturally get zinc, because there are zinc that's like added to like some of our cereals and stuff like that, and obviously all the foods that I already named. But zinc is pretty awesome. You guys should be on zinc. I'm gonna have some zinc in the description box. This is what I'm taking, and now I'm going to start taking it more often. And yeah, let's see what zinc can do for me.